Alright, everyone.
You like that graphic?
If you like that graphic, what I should say is if you don't like that graphic, what is wrong with you?
You're an American.
Is there? Let's switch back to it as these gentlemen. As there is no person in this world who has ever been as happy as Adam Vickers was at that moment in time.
That's true. I've never been given a hat.
Adam Vickers is the mini master. If you watched round one, you saw Adam Vickers take a beating from Michael Taylor's red deck. But thank you to Cliff Markham for our new splash screen there, encouraging everyone to stick around for more imaginary wizard fights. We are back to the action here. We are in round 2 of our inaugural Wednesday Night Legacy Tournament from Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. Just like every time when we stop playing and then put up some kind of away screen, we lose 10 people.
No, that's good.
At a minimum, because people. I don't have to admit, as someone who watches a lot of Magic videos, I do the same thing. We live in a generation of instant gratification. It's not to be unexpected.
Like, I want to flip to a stream that's not sitting on a splash screen of Adam Vickers.
Right. And unfortunately, I don't have the celebrity name appeal of Travis Wu testing his epic experiment deck. Which, to be quite honest, if I was not here commentating Legacy, having a good time at Lost Legion Games and Comics,
you'd be watching it?
I'd be at home on my couch, petting my dog, watching Travis Wu play his epic experiment deck, which seems very interesting. Robot the dog.
Is that the not pug?
That's the not pug. He is a mutt. You know what the interesting thing is? It's completely off topic, but I tried to register a parody Twitter account for my dog, at Robot the Dog.
Yeah.
Already taken.
Really?
RobotTheDog@gmail.com, also already taken.
Wow.
What kind of world do we live in? Where can't you register parody dog names?
One I don't want to live in.
So, anyway, for those of you joining us, we appreciate your patronage. This is round 2 of our Legacy event. Round 1, go back and watch the, you can tell them already.
Go for it.
Round
Maverick.
Yep. As we see everyone fire off with rock, paper, scissors to determine the game, you might be asking yourself, that seems like a novel way to start a game of Magic.
It's fantastic.
I wish I had those cards. That'd be a great conversation piece. But what you should do is, right now, drop whatever you're doing, go to twitter.com, follow me, at ZachSellsMagic. Go back and look in my archives for the giveaway tweets. I send it on Friday because we usually do a Friday Night Magic one, but it's not hard to find.
Are we giving away anything tonight?
I'm not giving away anything tonight because there's only 20 people watching. But
We'll give something away.
I'll give away the end to the Harry Potter movie.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Okay, so what's happening here is on the left we have Jordan Pectyo playing a Maverick deck. And as I've told everyone all night tonight, these are mostly borrowed decks, so please forgive it. I'm sure Jordan will have some stumbles here. As we just stream dropped a little bit there, but should be okay. Here's all you need to know. Jordan is playing Maverick against Vince, who's playing Dredge, and Jordan leads off with a turn 1 Dryad Militant. That is pretty saucy. Dryad Militant, for those of you who are not familiar, I will bring it up, but basically what that does is it shuts down the combo portion of Vince's deck, as now when he mills his Cabal Therapies and Dread Returns, they are exiled. So
He swords the imp.
So tough nuts to miss. So
Did Vince cast the imp?
he hard cast the imp off the City of Brass, and now in response to the swords, he is discarding a Bridge from Below and a Flamekin Zealot.
Seems good.
We're getting a lot of comments there from Vince. He is playing the Grand Prix Lincoln playmat that he recently acquired.
That's a very nice
That is
playmat.
one of the coolest playmats available to man. Could you ask them to? I'm sorry to keep asking this. Can you have them do the life total?
Sure.
Like they're not.
They're very inconsiderate.
Well, to be fair, I've reminded them.
Is it still live?
Yes.
George,
Still.
do the iPod. You ought to give away your secret. It's an iPod. Everybody's gonna copy it.
This the one?
No, it's the one in the top left. Boom. We're low-teching it. Some of you might be asking, Zach, why did you just yell loudly? Because we are only about 20 feet away from them. We're separated by a door that closes in a wall that doesn't go all the way to the top of the
It
room.
goes like 8 feet.
It goes mostly to the top. So Vince is really up against it here. It's going to be very tough for him to come back from that tapping.
Did Jordan naturally have that militant, or did he green some?
No, he naturally had it. And since, as I told before, half of the decks in this 8-man field are mine, I can tell you specifically there are 2 copies of Drive Militant in that deck.
Real question, who's that crazy third voice that's talking on the stream?
That's an excellent point. I'm Zachary Evans. I'm joined, as I was in round 1, by Max Turner.
Yes,
we are
sir.
now joined by former stream participant and previous co-host
Oh, yeah.
Brett Rose. Brett, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right.
Just got off work. Glad to see you make it out.
It was a long day, and I hated missing the first round there. But
You know,
Got you in round 2 with a loss.
if I had known we were only going to have 8 people, because 8 people is perfect for a 3-round tournament. But if you have 9 or 10, then you have to go to 4 rounds. It becomes a much later night. But if I know we're going to have 3 rounds, I probably would have waited for you. But there's always next week. Vince should be at 16, I think, off of 1 militant attack, and as we said, him discard 2 Narcomoebas.
how is he discarding those Narcomoebas?
He just cast a Careful Study, which was exiled by the militant. You can see it there off the top.
Okay.
Oh, that's hilarious, because I don't even have the life thing up there.
There we go.
It's a hot mess in here.
It's now 20 to 17.
We're frazzled.
Yeah. So Jordan Sachs goes in search of a Savannah, or maybe a Dryad Arbor,
Yeah, I
actually.
was going to kick Jordan. ... Use the app pod. And I got results. It's called my daddy voice.
Get back in your room.
So that's a very interesting piece here, the turn 1 Dried Militant. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Legacy, so Jordan is playing a Maverick deck. Maverick is basically just the green-white good stuff deck of Legacy. It is the fair deck you play if you don't want to play counterspells.
But it's a fun deck.
It's got a lot of, it basically hinges on Green Sun Zenith and Knight of the Reliquary for a land tutor package, as well as a Silver Bullet creature package, Scavenging Oozes, Dryad Militants, Scrib Ranger, Knight of the Reliquary.
Yeah, Dryad Militant.
Yeah, Quaz Sully Pride Mage as well, as we see Horizon Canopy come down.
So,
Doing a lot of work here with the Militant.
do you just not dredge if you're Vince? Because the only thing he's going to get are your...
At this point, honestly, with no way of removing the Dryad Militant, you just become, I think you do Dredge simply to get your, with the Dryad Militant on board, the Dredge deck becomes an Icarid deck.
Right.
So that is really your only way of applying any pressure here. He does have one bridge in the graveyard.
He's not going the Icarid route, is he?
No. He's hard cast. He's paying 2 life to hard cast the Narcomoeba.
I mean, we're swinging on Jordan's part.
No, he is going to cycle his
He still plays Noble Hierarch, right?
Jordan just has all the swords to Plowshare here.
Oh, I had the life incorrect because Jordan swords it previously, so he gained the 1 life off that. Militant gets in there.
Jordan is really running pretty good right now.
Surely he's got. I'm trying to figure out what cards he has in his hand that he can't cast. You can cast every card in that deck on 3 lands, as we see Undiscovered Paradise come down from Vince. For those of you unfamiliar with Dredge, it's not a deck that wants to play more than 3 lands over the course of the game.
I really think he's just avoiding dredging for some reason.
I was going to try to give like you may have heard me like 5 times, start to explain what Dredge does as a deck. And every time I just kind of decide against it after the fact. As we see a breakthrough for 0.
Once heard of Dark World Dealings get activated out of the Yu-Gi-Oh room.
We have, that's an important thing to mention, Max, I'm glad you brought it up, we have displaced the Yu-Gi-Oh players tonight.
Suck it.
I'll get real quiet. We can hear the anchor in the other room.
So Vince is comboing off here. He's not going to. Nothing's going to happen this turn except the Narcomoebas, which come into play as they are milled. But next turn he should be able to. Basically, should be able to dredge his deck, get all of his bridges into the graveyard, get a couple Icarids. I'm sure he's playing at least 2 Icarids, and then start attacking that way. Because Jordan, despite having a pretty strong lock on this game, has not pressured him.
I apologize for that.
It happens.
So finally found the Dredge. Just by everything to his graveyard.
Yeah. The broom closet is difficult to navigate when 3 people are in here. So Max had to step out for a phone call.
None of us are particularly small.
I'm not a small guy. That's correct. So, Vince has a lot of business in there. Do you see any Icarids? I see 1 Icarid, at least. Now we'll see if Jordan understands what Narcomoeba does. He should see a Wasteland there. Oh, Pride Mage is very good because it will allow him to not trade. But now Vince will get infinite zombies, or at least 1, 2, 3 zombies.
All the same art.
Not sure if, like I said, Jordan is, this is his first time piloting Maverick, so I'm not sure if he understands the interaction. He had an affinity deck that he could borrow, and he said he was more interested in playing Maverick. As it is a more fun deck to play, but it is a lot more daunting, because there are a lot of decisions. Any deck that plays Green Sun Zenith, as we see him wasteland the Undiscovered Paradise. And I apologize as we get a lot of blowback back there from the Yu-Gi-Ohs. They're being very loud.
So why would you want to trade with trade for something so small if you had a?
I don't think that I really don't think he understood the interaction with Bridges.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he was very excited when he. I think he was mostly just excited that he got the Exalted Trigger, so he didn't lose his militant. Because now we see between 6 power of Icarids and 6 power of zombies is 12 power there. He's not attacking, just letting the Icarids die. The reason he's not attacking there is because if you're unfamiliar with Bridge from Below, which I will bring up so you can at least look at it over the over the break, that's a very strange Magic card, but if your creatures die and it's in your graveyard, you get a 2/2 zombie. If their creatures die, it gets removed from the game.
It's actually. Oh yeah, it is from play. I'm sorry, I thought it was from anywhere.
We see Athalia come down just a few turns too late. Icarids come back into play, removing 2 black creatures during his upkeep to do so. But given the cards that Vince had in his hand, the Lion's Eye Diamond, the Faithless Looting, he actually had the Flamekin Zealot in his hand as well. He could have comboed off on turn 1 or turn 2, but that Dryad Militant just shuts off that whole combo.
Yeah.
Because you can't dredge return.
Is this what Joe is playing as well?
Yeah, there are two dredge decks in the tournament. They're both won their first rounds.
Mm-hmm.
I dread the day that we see all dredge finals, but
Dredge versus Dredge.
it might happen. So I apologize in advance for the inevitable.
Zombies on zombie massacre.
Yeah.
So what can Jordan get here to even?
He can't do anything. He's lost this game. There's no sweeper. There's nothing.
No sword.
Well, I think he it's something that you would learn with you would learn with more experience with the deck. You really don't want to waste your swords. Swords in the Future Dimp is fine because it shuts down their recurring ability
Yeah.
to discard, but swords in the Narcomoeba was probably unnecessary because you swords the Icrid and then it shuts down the combo there.
They're no longer able to discard to.
Well, the Icrid, when it dies every turn, you exile a creature. I'll bring it up here. You exile a creature every turn, a black creature from your graveyard every turn, to bring it into play, and then, excuse me.
I meant the imp.
Oh yeah, the imp.
Sorry.
The imp is fine. As you do the, you is really bothering me, distracting me.
Falling into the trap.
Yeah, no, I have to ask him about this card.
Uh-oh, we're getting, yeah, come in.
So.
Uh-huh. Okay, so he's asking, for those of you curious, very funny, he's asking about Fairy Macabre. So basically what happens is you discard from your hand, it's like a triggered ability, but it's uncounterable. So basically you do it in response to something. So again, Jordan borrowing this deck, so we've given you, we've written off some
of the big, huge play mistakes.
No, we didn't make huge play mistakes, but it's not an easy deck to learn as we go back out to the feature camera. So, as I said, most of the decks in this field are my own, so I can tell you, I'll mention that so that I can tell you I know what all the sideboards are. So Jordan's actually Jordan set up pretty well main deck. He has 2 copies of Scavenging Ooze and 2 copies of Dried Militant in his main deck. So
the Dried Militant did make it in. What did you take out for it?
Some one-ofs. I was playing a Ulvenwald Tracker, also known as Fight Bear, and I was playing a Fauna Shaman. I just really didn't like either of those. So 2 copies of those in there. Out of the sideboard, he has 3 copies of Fairy Macabre, which are very important because, as I showed on camera, and I'll bring it up in case nobody knows what it does, but the thing about Fairy Macabre that is very important is that it's a free way of interacting with Vince's graveyard, and it's important because Jordan's playing Thalia. So basically this just becomes a 1-cost graveyard removal spell.
Now, I know she has some chokes in there. Would they come in?
Choke's not coming in here. He's going to bring in the 3 Fairy Macabre, and he's going to bring in... I'm not sure if I had 1 copy of Torment's Crypt in there or not.
I didn't see one. I saw two paths.
Pass will come in, yeah. He should take out his, probably should take out some of his slower cards. Might take out the Sylvan Library. There's just one guy, there's just a loner in there. Could take out that Scrib Ranger probably. As powerful as it is, it's not the kind of, you're going to be using your Green Sun Zeniths for Scavenging Oozes, you're not going to get that guy, so the 2 pass are better.
Would you rather go for the Scavenging Ooze or the Militant?
It depends on the game.
In this matchup.
I mean, if he has a turn 2 Green Sun, I mean, you go get the Militant.
Okay.
But any later in the game, the Militant's not nearly as good.
Okay.
Scavenging Ooze just... If you get a turn 2 Scavenging Ooze and get untapped, especially if you have access to the Guy's Cradle that he has, someone asking if the Fairy Macabre removes the bridges once it goes to the graveyard when you discard it, because it is a creature, but the wording on Bridge from Below is that it has to die, it has to go to the graveyard from play, so that won't work.
Yeah, the keyword phrase, die.
Yeah, but still pretty... Jordan, struggling. Nailed it.
Those electronics are difficult. Let's not be belittling him here. I mean, you've got touch up and touch down.
For those of you just joining us, we're mocking Jordan Pectyo as he struggles to use a basic piece of electronics. My name is Zachary Evans. I'm joined by Brett Rose, and we are watching round 2, game number 2 of our inaugural Wednesday Night Legacy Tournament from Star City Games, apparently.
Yeah.
No, from Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. Vince Smith beat a turn 1 Drive Militant with his Dredge deck in game number 1. We go to the sideboarded games with Jordan on the play. He has a keeper. And it's a Mother of Runes. Allow the cavalcade of mom jokes to begin.
Not as good as Mother of Goons.
Something wrong with the stream? It doesn't look like I dropped anything. I will restart here to see if there was a problem in it. For anyone watching live, I apologize if we've... I don't know what's going on over there. Looks like nothing happened, which is good. So, we see a turn 1... turn 1 careful study from Vince, discarding a bridge and an Archimevo.
How did he lose the life?
Well, he played it off of City of Brass. City of Brass taps for any color of mana, but anytime it is tapped, you lose 1 life.
And what did you call that type of land?
We call that a City of Brass.
Oh. I thought that's what you had referenced as a pain land before.
That won't work. Jordan is trying to cast a Knight of the Reliquary. Nope, Quasali Pride Mage. He attacks for 2. Very rare that you see Mom attacking on turn 2, but in this matchup, not
More
nearly as
damage.
important. Yeah, you're just racing here. And I see Vince's hand. He has a Cephalid Coliseum. He has a...
Will you just attack?
Oh, we see that. Lion's Eye Diamond. Very strong, so he's going to... He is likely going to activate the diamond. Well, no. Proves me wrong. He's going to play his Faithless Looting off his City of Brass. In response to the Faithless Looting, he's going to bend his hand.
He took
16, yeah, for Mom. So, Lion's Eye Diamond gives you 3 mana of any color when you sack it, but you have to discard your hand. Luckily for Dredge, they want to do that. So he casts Faithless Looting. Sacks his LED in response, bends his whole hand, and the dredging begins. So,
Archimevo goes in, comes back
one
out.
Archimevo. He discards those cards back. He now has 3 red floating in his mana pool, I imagine. And he's going to flash that same Faithless Looting back. Dredging his 2 Grave Trolls. This is basically exactly how they drew it up. As you see, not 1 but 2 Archimevas there. So we're just I counted bridges. He has at least 1 bridge. But a Dread Return and a Flamekin Zealot would end the game on the spot if he had 2 bridges. I do not see the Zealot. It's entirely possible the Zealot is not in his deck. The Zealot, when it comes into play, gives everything +1/+1, and haste usually is the Dredge deck's answer to combo decks. Vince is maining his, but Maverick's not really the kind of deck you're looking to race. So now Vince has choices. These Archimevos have come into play from the mill.
That was an interesting choice.
I think he's waiting to untap, then activate a Cephalid Coliseum, which will draw him 3 cards and discard 3 cards, basically letting him dredge the rest of his deck. He will surely find his Flamekin Zealot at that point, and then we'll just attack with a billion zombies for the win. So Jordan really has to answer. He really has to answer the bridges now. So if he has a Frame Macabre in hand, if he has a Scavenging Ooze, now would be the time to use it.
Not quite what you want.
Gets in there for 4.
Gives it protection blue, it looks like.
Yeah. So we see some Ichorids coming back. I think this game is over at this point.
How big is it?
He's a 3/1 with haste. Bring that one up too. And for those of you who are painfully familiar with all these cards, I apologize, but just on the off chance that people aren't, I know that there are some local players that are watching. They are more than likely not as familiar as those of you who may have stumbled upon this because it said Legacy, and you were attracted to it like bees to honey. So, has haste, you have to sacrifice them at the end of the turn. During your upkeep, you can remove a black creature from your graveyard and bring it back to life. So, Vince, counting the cards he has left in his deck to figure out how aggressively he can dredge. Never a good sign if you're the opponent of the dredge deck.
What are the chances that Jordan has a way to just mill him out at this point and
Zero.
pass turn for the win?
0%.
Well, you can always hope.
Unfortunately, it looks like Jordan kept a hand with none of his sideboard cards, which is really not something you want to do. Jordan has so many live cards in this matchup: Swords of Plowshares, Path to Exile, Fairy Macabre, Scavenging Ooze, Dried Militant.
It's kind of silly not to just mulligan.
Yeah, but again, these players are...
Yeah.
This is Vince's deck. He's very familiar with his dredge list, but a lot of these other players are playing borrowed decks and just... this is their first introduction to the format, so we cut them some slack.
First introduction, meet Dredge.
You know, a lot of people dislike Dredge. I have a Dredge deck in my bag right now. I don't play it a lot anymore, but Dredge is that kind of boogeyman that keeps everybody else honest. You gotta have a deck like Dredge that just has so much raw power that, you know, if you come to a big Legacy tournament and you're not prepared to beat Dredge, then it's your own fault.
Yeah.
That's what keeps things on. It keeps things interesting. So, the Icarids die. 2 bridges in the graveyard, so 4 zombies total.
Jordan goes down 17, looks like.
Yeah. I believe Vince has done most of the damage to himself from the City of Brass and from Cephalid Coliseum.
Mom and the Pride Mage got in once apiece.
And now since he has black zombies and 1 blue Narcomoeba, he can't even Alpha Strike. He can't even get in the 4. Possibly Pride Mage is interesting too because it's one of the cards that interacts with the bridges. If you had something to target, you could sack it.
Yeah.
Also, the Maverick deck can interact with it by fetching a Dryad Arbor and then sacking it with your Knight of the Reliquary.
To trigger the last ability.
There's the Dryad Arbor. Speak of the devil. So he has 4 creatures, so he's tapping for 5 there. He has the Knight. So he could do that play next turn. Unfortunately, it might be way too late. Is he what the last card in Jordan's hand is?
I'm not sure.
Not sure what they're talking about here.
I think Jordan's trying to figure out how everything functions.
He's waiting a little bit late in the game for that. I think they're having a contest to see who can make the most aggressive hand gestures. Clearly, Jordan.
He's just straight winning this. Oh, Vince is giving a shot.
He is I don't know why he's not Fairy Macabre and Icarids here. I'm not sure if Jordan... is familiar. I don't know if he does that interaction, I guess.
Does he not have... Does he have one in hand?
He does, yeah. He has a Force and a Fairy Macabre.
Maybe he's waiting for... I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm making guesses.
Because the problem is now is that you can let them... He can sack them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So see, he can just sack it to the... Well, no, because like when he sacks it to Cabal Therapy or to Dread Return, it's part of the cost of the spell, sacking it, so he'll get the zombie tokens regardless. So you really need to do it like during your turn or in response to the Icar trigger. Legacy, a very fun format, a very intricate format.
You can make like one mistapped and you're just done.
Yeah, so Cabal Therapy. We'll bring it up too. Oh my goodness. These Yu-Gi-Ohs are driving me insane. The twin Yu-Gi-Ohs that only speak in some kind of superhero voice, really going at it tonight. they're in rare form. It's very secret ball therapy, basically targeted discard ability. But more than that, it's just the fact that you get to. It's an uncounterable sacrifice outlet. Because even if they counter the spell, the creature was part of the
Yeah, you still get
cost.
zombies.
Yeah. I think at this point you just pile in with everything.
I think they're declaring blockers here.
So two zombies summoning sick because they came in off of therapy. Here comes the team. So he trades with 2, chumps 1.
I guess you try to take as many Icarus out as you can.
Well, the Icarus are going to get bridge triggers, right?
Well, they get it at the end of the turn when you do more damage.
Yeah, good point.
I don't know. I mean,
No, you're exactly right. So he's going to take 12, drop to 5. Welcome back.
Partaking, gentlemen. Leaving. Good evening. Thank you for letting me commentate a little bit.
No problem, Max. We'll see you on Friday
Yes,
for
sir.
Halloween-themed F&M.
Some kind of fantastic costume.
I hope. Best costume to get on camera.
Ah, you know, I like being on camera.
Brett, are you familiar with the? We're extolling the virtues to our internet fan base about the Halloween-themed F&M we're having this Friday.
I don't know that I've heard about this.
Well, then you haven't been looking at our Facebook page, Brett.
No, I haven't actually.
So after this is over, no, I can't do that. I was trying to figure out how I could show my desktop. I could show my desktop, but it would take longer than it would be worth to go do it. But I can do it the low tech way.
What's that?
Just tell you about it.
Okay.
This Friday, right here at Lost Legion Games and Comics, The Rifleman, South Charleston, West Virginia, right behind the mound. We are having a Halloween-themed F&M. What's that mean? That means there will be candy. That means you're encouraged to come in costume. And, as I've told many people, if we get close to 30 people or more total attendance, and if I feel enough people have participated in the costume aspect, I will commentate the entire top 8 dressed as a giant Twinkie.
Well, fantastic.
There's actually a picture on Facebook right now of me in a giant Twinkie costume, so if you want more of that hot action, then you need to come down to F&M on Friday. I know that there are at least half dozen, if not more, local people watching this F&M stream right now. Some of them don't always come to F&M, but if there was ever one to come to, this one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to blow it out. I'm trying to get a ton of people. As we see the JIT come down, probably about 4 turns too late, so one half of the all Dredge finals has made it to the top. The question now is, who will be his opponent? I believe the other match was Joe Lewis playing Dredge versus Michael Taylor playing Burn.
That's not a terrible matchup.
Oh, well, I mean, the Burn deck has a lot of ways of binning its own creatures. It has Hellspark Elemental, which is really good in the matchup.
Your red deck still runs the Hellspark Elemental?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did put some Vexing Devils in there tonight. Got a hold of some of those.
Oh, yeah.
We did see Michael Taylor win round 1. So, I mentioned it before, let's mention it again. F&M this week is super important because it's Halloween themed F&M, so if you're watching this stream and you want to see me, a grown-ass man dressed as a giant Twinkie, and other famous internet celebrities from our stream in the past, also potentially wearing fun costumes, check us out. Check us out every week. 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Twitch.tv /ZachSellsMagic is the address. If you're following us on Twitch right now, what you should do is you should go below the video, click the gear button, click follow, subscribe to our channel, at which point you will receive an email notification anytime we go live. As we see the handshake, such good sportsmanship out of all of our participants. I mentioned it before, I'll mention it one more time. If you watched the beginning of this game and saw our participants play a rousing game of rock, paper, scissors to determine who goes first, and you feel like that's the kind of thing that you want to partake of yourself, I got a deal for you. You go to Twitter, you follow me at ZachSellsMagic. You look for the giveaway tweet, which was posted during last Friday's FNM. Actually, last Saturday's Star City Games Invitational. You find it, you retweet it, you'll be entered for a chance to win. I tell you right now, not a lot of entries this week.
Really?
Last week we didn't have a standard FNM like we normally do because we had the Charcon Gaming Convention was in town. So we did it on Saturday during our Star City Games Invitational coverage. So, it's like shooting fish in a barrel this week. Low numbers means higher chances of winning. So go to Twitter, follow me for general Magic commentary as well as giveaways. I did make a funny joke last week about a Baconator I was very proud of. And this week I did something else I can't remember. I'm very easily entertained. So, watch out, Brett, I'm switching back to this thing.
Oh.
Welcome to the studio. I've been using our new catchphrase as we have been given from faithful stream viewers over the weeks. We are I'm calling ourselves the best stream in the world.
Is that
Originating from a broom closet.
Okay.
Did you know we actually have a broom in here tonight?
Do we?
There's an honest to goodness broom. I did not put that here.
Well, it feels complete.
So we are in the broom closet. My name is Zach Evans. This is Brett Rose. Just got off work as a medical professional. Thank you for watching as we start off what will hopefully be a recurring Legacy series. My goal right now is twice a month, so every other week. We only fielded 8 tonight. I feel like we can double that if we have a little bit more lead time and a little bit more... There's some scheduling conflicts of this particular Wednesday.
Yeah.
Brett would normally play. He had to work just a little bit later than we could afford. But hopefully this is something that people are interested in. I'd be interested in it. I told people earlier, this is an unsolicited plug for South Florida Magic, also available on Twitch. They have a Tuesday night Legacy stream. I watch it all the time. Last night they didn't have one. I was very upset. Had to watch your reruns on TiVo. First world problems, I know, but nevertheless, that is... So what I'm trying to say is that I enjoy Legacy content, so hopefully you guys do too. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. If there's any feedback you'd like to give us or you'd like to get in touch with us, I'll bring this up briefly. But if you search for Zach Sells Magic, that's better. If you search for Zach Sells Magic on any of these fine social media instances, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, you will get a hold of us. Tonight I'm going to stress you should check out the Facebook page. Brett, we just found out. You're local. You didn't even check out the Facebook page.
Well, I saw something about Legacy, and I've kind of ignored it ever since because I just figured nothing else could bring me that much joy.
Could be as exciting as Legacy.
Yeah.
But we post pictures. We have a lot of interesting discussion. If you do watch the stream with any kind of regularity, or you're watching on YouTube currently and would like to be part of it, I think it's very interesting. Here's an interesting story. So we post everything we post everything we record on YouTube, and then people comment, they watch. We don't get a ton of views, but we get enough. We have about 150 subscribers. We've only did 2 months. You got to start somewhere. But there have been multiple people that have contacted me on YouTube or subscribed to us on YouTube. Then I've noticed them liking our Facebook page. Now we're friends on Facebook. Now there's a little bit of interaction there. It's pretty interesting. It's amazing modern technology. You can be part of it. Do you want to be friends on Facebook with stream celebrities such as Brett Rose or Max Turner, myself, or maybe the local legend Adam Vickers? Go to facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. It doesn't cost anything. We've never once asked for money. If you watch the Star City Games Invitational coverage last Saturday, Adam Vickers did ask for an unlimited supply of pizza, but we have never asked for cash. So, just go to Facebook. A like and a friend is just as good as a $5 bill to us, so check that out. What you want to check out right now is our new splash screen as we take a quick break. Have you seen this?
I have not.
We'll be right back with round 3, the final round championship of our first Legacy event. So stay tuned. Do not go away. We'll be right back.